Hello everyone, I am starting some seeds today. Since I have received my beautiful new seed starter kits from GreenStalk, I decided that I'm going to start my cold hardy veggies. I was a little bit cautious yesterday since it's been so cold here, but because they are in a very nice size, my seedlings will be able to hang in here for a while until it's time for me to transplant them outside. And that means that I'm going to have bigger transplants to plant out and hopefully have earlier harvests too. Now, I must warn you, this is an experiment. I am gardening in a new zone this year. Last year I was on zone 7B and I did start my seedlings for my GreenStalk, my cold hardy ones, around January 15th. Now I'm gardening in zone 6B now. And I was planning to start them in February, and I changed my mind because of those very nice, beautiful seedling trays. And speaking of that, GreenStalk is actually doing a sale right now on their seed starting supplies. So if you want to get one of these, make sure to go and check out their website. But going back to here, I have already made my selections of the seeds that I want to grow on my GreenStalk this year. I'm not going to use the planter because I'm going to kind of repeat what I did last year. I really like the way my GreenStalks turned out, especially the cool season ones. I love the pepper ones too, but that one is currently overwintering inside, so it's going to be the same thing. And I don't have to worry about planting the one out very much. But for the Brassicas GreenStalk and for my lettuce GreenStalk, I'm going to be most likely repeating what I do. The lettuce one, I've been doing the same thing for the past 4 years. I have my GreenStalk leaf planter on stone color. Got that one in 2021, so it's been growing for many seasons now. And I always grow lettuce on it during the spring. Now I'm gonna go for a bit of a change on the planter itself. I have started a lot of things in there under the seed houses, some herbs and some flowers, and there's some things that are overwintering in there that might survive this cold we're having. So that one I'm going to actually dedicate for herbs because I found myself using a lot more herbs this year, and actually I ran out of it now already in the winter, so I want to make sure I have one that's all dedicated for it, close to my kitchen, that's easy for me to go and grab it. And I'm going to use my basket weave one in the maple color that I planted pansies and beets and spinach last year, I believe, to be my lettuce one this year, my GreenStalk, if that makes sense. So we're going to be starting some things for that. And the Brassicas GreenStalk, which was the green one, the original with the longer pockets, is going to stay the same. And I'm going to plant kale, the purple broccoli, the same one I planted last year, and the nasturtium, but later. And the nasturtium is a warm weather crop, doesn't do very well starting right now. But I thought too that just to have a vining element that we can start early together too, I might plant some peas. I'm not going to plant some peas at this moment. We're gonna focus on brassicas and greens today, but I will leave a little cell open for my peas because I want to plant this a bit closer to the time that I'm going to plant them out, because peas grow very fast, and I think that if I grow them inside right now, they're just gonna get tall and spindly and entangled with each other. So maybe 2 to 3 weeks before I plan to put them outside, I will start the peas in here just so they are little baby seedlings when they go outside. And peas grow very fast too, as I said, so I think they'll be okay catching up with everybody. So the GreenStalk seed starting kits come with a planner. If you want to plan everything for your GreenStalk that you're going to grow in it, you can use that to plan a whole planter. For instance, if you have an original and you want to plant 5 tiers, you can use 5 of these containers and then plan a whole planter in here. And you can also plan where everything is gonna go. I'm not going to do that. I prefer to plant everything of the same variety in the same seed tray. And then once I'm planting, I mix them around. I do not like the look of putting one variety of each of everything in a tier. Let's say one of only broccoli, one of only kale, one of only lettuce. Doesn't look very nice to me because some of the things grow a little big or the ones grow a little small. I prefer to mix them around and make things a little bit more interesting. So I'll put some kale, broccoli, and maybe a flower or something, like interchanging the pockets. So once it's nice and grown, it has a lot more visual interest. But that's just me. I love looking at my GreenStalks in the early season, and I think it also adds really beautiful vertical interest and aesthetics to the garden. So I grow them for beauty too. And that's how I like to organize them. I never like to put one of everything per tier. I just don't like the look of that. For my greens, I've been doing the same thing too for 4 years now. I will start things on a tray like this. I would do like this one, let's say all purple bok choy, another one with all red lettuce, and another one with all green spinach. And then once I'm planting them, I'm going to interplant those guys around so that the planter looks a lot more interesting and beautiful and makes me want to go to the garden more because I think they're so pretty. I wanted to go outside all the time. So we're going to do that. So I'm now going to use the numbers, the letters, but if you like that, if you think it's easier for you, you can just write everything in here. It's great that this comes with this if you like to plan. I originally was thinking that I was going to do that when I first opened yesterday. I was like, I want to do it. I want to follow this plan here. But after giving a bit more thought, because I sometimes know that seedlings not all do well, some grow a bit faster than others and some just don't take off, I prefer to just keep doing it the way I used to do. I'm going to just do a whole tray of something and then I'll transplant the ones that are doing the best. Alright, so first let's start with what I am growing, and then we're going to fill up this containers and get into planting the seeds. I have organized my seeds here in this binder, and here on the second tab I have a tab that is called GreenStalk. Maybe it's a little hard to see because of the glare, but I have already selected these varieties from these 2 pages for my GreenStalk. So I'm just going to take the seeds out of here. To make it easier actually, because I'm filming a video, I'll take this sleeves out. I don't usually do that if I'm just sowing the seeds for myself, but it'll just be easier for you guys to see, and then I'll put them right back in once I'm done with using them, because I am not going to use all of them since we are going to start small quantities of everything, and I am going to do basically what I've done before for my greens. Like if something is working, I guess you don't fix it, right? I grew all these 4 varieties last year on my GreenStalk. The Lunix lettuce, the little jam, the salad saver. This one is something I always grow. Let me take it out of here because of the glare. This is a mix from the Hudson Valley Seed Company, and I love everything that's in here so much. It comes with lots of seeds in it, and I've been growing this for like 3 years, I think, and there's still plenty of seeds in here. Because I've tried to store my seeds well, they usually remain viable, and last year they still sprouted really fast. Like in here, there's still a bunch left. This is a mix, so I don't really know what's going to come up, but I'm still gonna do 1 full tray of those and then just get surprised by what comes. But a good thing about this is that they all taste great. I like everything in here, and they have different colors and textures. So I think my favorite from this whole mix are the 2 things: the red striped Mizuna, which I have some currently that volunteered back in there in the fall, and some of this Tokyo Benkana is great, but I also love bok choy, so if some come up, great. There's also some arugula, which I always do well in my GreenStalk too, so this is a great mix to have if you're looking to save some money and just buy one thing for the GreenStalk. I like this because I like to cook the stuff that I harvest too. I found in the past that planting all lettuce, it was hard for me to keep up with the harvesting and eating everything, being just me and my husband. Once April hits sometimes in May, I'll have a whole thing of lettuce and we'll just can eat lettuce so many times in a week. So having this is great because I can also cook it. It's a lot easier to get it used up fast. Something that I always grow too is my Purple Lady bok choy, which I have also been reusing the seed pack since I got it in 2021 or 2022, I think. There's also plenty of seeds in here because I just plant them at my GreenStalk. I don't use as many seeds every year, but I always am grateful to have some harvests of this too. It looks very nice in the planter too, and I always get compliments, but also tastes good. I like to eat this one cooked. The little jam lettuce, this one actually didn't do very well for us last year. It bolted kind of fast because the temperatures got warm kind of quick for us in New York City in the spring, but I want to try it again because I love eating little jam, so she made it to the garden plan this year again. And then I have this Lunix lettuce that I love the color. It does well for me here too. There are the greens. I'm going to do some bok choy. This is regular bok choy. We eat this pretty fast when we harvest these here at home, so we can never grow too many. And another thing would be shijimisai, which is sort of people say that's comparable to spinach, but I think tastes a lot better than that. And then for the greens one still, which has 42 pockets by the way, so I'm growing this in the leaf planter, that's why I'm starting so many. I have 42 planting pockets to fill. And from my previous experience, one green stalk with greens is definitely plenty, is enough for us. Thankfully, they always have done well for me in the spring. Even when they're both early, we still eat enough and it's really good. We harvest a good amount of food from it. So the last two things that I'm gonna grow on those is going to be spinach. It's the one that I haven't actually currently growing in my green stalk, and I'm trying to overwinter, but I'm afraid this winter has been so cold and that they're not gonna make it. They still look okay in the planter, but it's still midwinter and I don't know how much more cold these guys can outstand. So I'm going to start another batch just in case. And for my Brassica one, which did wonderfully last year, I am going to grow the same variety of broccoli. This one is one I got from Joni's, and it actually grew quite fast. The seed is a bit expensive for this one, but I think it was totally worth it because I harvested a lot of broccoli from it last year. I did make a little mistake with this because I just read this thing in the seed package after I had already started harvesting it. This is supposed to be a sprouting broccoli, so it's supposed to pinch it before it produces the main head. I didn't do that, I just let it grow. It did produce a main head, it was great, and kept producing side shoots, but I think it would have been more prolific and given us even more broccoli if I had pinched it in the beginning. So since I'm starting early, I plan to pinch it before I even plant it outside, so we'll see the difference with the harvest this year. I think that will be cool. And then I'm also growing dino kale, which is my favorite kale. I used to grow a kale mix in the past, and even though we still eat the curly kale and the other ones that come up, this is always our favorite. So now I just narrowed down to only growing this one because I just like it, you know, and I cook with it and I love the texture and everything. So we're only doing dino kale this year, and I am going to also add two more things to my Brassica green stalk to make it a bit more colorful. I'm going to add the Swiss chard, which I haven't really grown much in the last couple of years and I kind of miss it. I want to eat colorful things in the spring too, not only green, so I'm adding this to the mix. And I'm also going to grow kohlrabi, which I actually love kohlrabi, and I have grown in the green stalk before in the fall when I had my red green stalk and did great. So going to give it a try to this one again this year, and we'll see how it's gonna go there too. So these are gonna go on my green seed trays because that's where it's going to live outside of my original green stalk. So I'm gonna put the seed packs on top of it. Maybe be a little hard to see in the camera, but I'll try my best, just so I know which I'm planning to plant. For this guy here, I only have 4 packs, and then one more of these will be peas when the time comes. And then later I'm gonna do nasturtium in here, even though this is an extra, just counting that maybe something is in these pockets didn't do well. But I do want to put nasturtium in there too, because last year it looked so nice vining through the kale, so I want to repeat that. So we're gonna save those two for later, but they're already called for. We already know what we're gonna grow there. And then here might be a bit more challenging because I have more than 6 packs for this guy. This is gonna be for my leaf basket with green stalk, and the leaf actually has 7 tiers, so maybe I should use one of those instead of the nasturtium to start that. Yeah, let's do that, and then I'll do the nasturtium somewhere else, or even maybe direct soil, because they do well with that too. So let's see here. I'm gonna get my favorite one, and then purple ladybug choy, little gem lettuce, Lunix lettuce, regular bok choy, and shijimi sai, and then we're just gonna do the spinach on the green one over there, borrowing it from the other seed tray. So we're gonna start working on those, and I'm gonna do my greens first because it's just right in front of me. And what we're gonna need for that, we're gonna need some plant labels in case you're not using the GreenStalk planner, but if you are, no need to worry about it. And then a marker, I like to use this because it lasts a little longer. And we need some potting soil, which I have already actually pre-moistened and put in here in this tub. I just find it easier and less messy if I just dump it in a tub like this and then pre-moisten a little bit ahead of time, so it gets kind of like light and fluffy when it's time for me to plant it. It has a little bit of time to absorb the moisture. In the past, I have planted seeds without watering the potting soil, and it's fine too. But I'm trying to be a bit of a better gardener this year, and because I got this tub here too and things are easier, I'm gonna do it. I avoided in the past because it's kind of messy, and I did it in a little bowl and things got everywhere. So this was $5 at Target, and it was definitely worth it. So I got one of those, and hopefully we're gonna up our game a little bit. But the potting soil looks very nice, pre-moistened. It's not soggy, it's just nice, slightly holds it together when we press. feels good too. That's how we're gonna start with. So let's get started and write the plant labels first. I'll probably be able to tell what those are once they come up too, but it's always a good idea to have them so you know the date that I started. Thankfully I have YouTube too, so YouTube is like my catalog. I can always check on it when I start the seeds and anything like that, but I still like to have it on the tag so I can quickly see as reference. So that was a good practice to label things. You always regret when you don't. You think you're gonna remember and then you don't, and you always wish that you would have labeled it. So I now always do it. Alright, so labels are all ready, and I am going to start filling up my containers now. And this might look a little silly, but I don't like getting things messy indoors. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring this cell here to the bucket, and I'm going to add the soil inside here, or the buckets here, so I avoid things falling all over the place. Just falls right back in the bucket and no soil gets wasted either. So after adding the soil, I like to tap it a little bit, taper down, I guess. It's very fluffy. And then move it again. These seeds don't need to be planted too deep, so I'm not gonna leave too much space to add more potting soil. I might just do a little hole and cover back with whatever I already have in there. Wow, that looks really good. I really like the way that they made the cells to look like little GreenStalk tears, or to me they look like flowers. What a nice little touch. Our first cell is ready. I'm just going to repeat this and do the same thing with everything else, all the other ones. Oh, I forgot to mention too that this is just regular potting mix, regular potting soil. I don't like to start my seeds with seed starting mix because there's no nutrients in there. Granted, it's a little bit more fine and maybe it's easier for the roots to attach in there, but I have never had a problem starting with regular potting soil, and that way I don't need to fertilize my seedlings. These ones are going to stay in the cells for a while, I assume, if our weather continues to be so cold. But honestly, I never had a problem with this. I've been starting seeds from 5 years now, and it's always fine with starting with potting soil, so that's what I like to do. This one is all filled up. Let's add the tags. I'm just going to add kind of randomly. It doesn't need to be right now very precise. I'm not doing by color or anything. Oops. But I am doing 6 of each of what I'm starting. I have to be honest with you, I'm so excited, you guys. This is like the best part of winter, starting seeds. Let's start getting the seeds in the soil here so I can show you guys my process, and let's hope that they are all gonna do well this year too, and we're gonna have a beautiful, gorgeous GreenStalk planter to harvest from when the spring comes. Even though I'm calling my other planter my Brassica planter, these guys are Brassicas too. The box choys, but I put them into the greens category. I'm going to show you the seed. They're going to be this big round seed over here. I just like to do a bit of an indentation. They don't need to be buried too deep. Just a little bit deep is fine. Usually the rule of thumb is they have to be deep to twice as the size as the seed. And I'm going to sow 2 seeds per cell, just like that. I'll start from the bottom, closer to me first. 2 little seeds, drop it in there. Could do 3 too, because the seeds are old, but I'm hoping that they're gonna do okay. If 3 falls in there, it's not a problem. And then I just put whatever I didn't use back into the seed pack, and I still have plenty of it too. So usually I do all of my seeds, then I cover it, but since I'm filming the video, I'm just gonna cover this slightly. Alrighty, so you can see. And then just push the soil the side and cover the seed, and we're gonna water all together at the end. That step I'm gonna do together because I don't want to get water in here and get things messy before I need to. So here we go, first tray is ready. Now I'm gonna move to our salad saver down here. This one, it's mostly Brassicas. I think let me see, the seeds are around. Yeah, most of them are Brassicas. So they're also gonna look exactly the same as the bok choy. Our Brassica seeds look like this, more or less. So we're gonna again just do a little punch on all of these guys. and then drop 2 seeds. Oops, if 3 falls is fine. But sometimes when you're grabbing, trying to drop, it's hard because they're round seeds, they just bump into each other, but that's all right. If you have extra, you can always eat the other ones as little baby greens when you're thinning them out, or little sprouts. Now I'm gonna do the rest too the same way. They're going to all look the same, other than the lettuce actually. Lettuce, I had a bit of a hard time germinating last year. It didn't grow nearly as fast as my Brassicas did, and here on the seed pack says that I should bury this 1/4 inch, but then I read the lettuce needs light to germinate, so I'm just gonna hope that this year they just germinate better. But the seeds look very different than the Brassicas. They're a bit longer seeds. There's some white and black seeds. This one is white. So I'm gonna do 3 because my oh, that one's 4. Yeah, I'll just do a little bit because my germination was so bad. And then I'll tin the seedlings and then we can eat the other ones if they all germinate. But that's it for the lettuce, and hoping for better germination this year. I'm gonna put the other lettuce right behind. I have it back there just so it's close to each other here. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here at the end. And this one is going to be the Lenox lettuce. I love the color on this one. It gets very nice and dark once the sun hits it. And this one is black, so it's good. You're gonna see one of each color. So it's the same shape as the other seed, the lettuce seed, but black this time instead of white. So we're gonna sow that as well. Doing 3, 2, oh, 4 fell in there. Maybe I'll do everything that's in my hand. Yep, a little bit heavier on this one. There we go. And the last 2 here are also Brassicas. This is the purple lady bok choy, and this one is the shijimi side. So their seeds are going to look like the first 2 ones. So I'm going to just speed up this part. Now for the lettuce, I'll be a bit more gentle. And we'll see how it goes. I'm going to cover it since it says to cover. But I quite think I remember last year the not germinating, throwing some on the surface to get some light. So we'll see what happens this year. And if I need to throw some more seeds, I will, because I have them. So this one I'll try to cover a little lighter than the other one, see if it makes a difference. We're all gonna learn together. Now that they're all in, what I do, I'm gonna move my seeds. I like to just spray some water on top to help the seeds settling, and also to keep that top surface moist to aid with germination. And every day until the seeds sprout, I'm gonna go to my grow light setup and I'm going to spray some water on top as well. Once they are up and the seedlings have grown a little bit, I will stop spraying from the top and I will start just bottom watering these trays, which is great. This tray over here has a bottom water tray as well, together with the carrier tray. So there's 2 trays below the seedlings. Just gonna show you. So this is the carrier tray. Oh, it's heavy now with all the soil. And that's the watering tray underneath. So that's very nice. And I'll show you guys when it's time for me to start using that. So now let's move on to the second planter. We have our first veggies of the year just sown right now. How exciting is that? I'm always happy about the future food that I can harvest from the garden. And I'm gonna move this out actually to my table over there so I can push this seed tray over here, and we're going to repeat all the same process again. Okay, I got all the potting soil done on this one too. Now we're going to add the labels. I forgot that I was supposed to save one of these guys, and I added soil to this as well. Oh well, it's okay. Got a little distracted when I was filling it up. And this one here that doesn't have a label with the peas, I'll put the potting soil back in there, but just leave it there filled up so it looks nice all together. And we're going to start with the second batch. So I'm doing the broccoli first. That's the one I'm most excited for. And oh, this one's a pelleted. I forgot those are pelleted seeds. You know, pelleted seeds are supposed to have a bit of a lower shelf life. So I might have to put 3 per on this one. So let's see. Hopefully they're still good, because I really loved growing this broccoli last year. I didn't think they would do so well. So let's see how it goes. 2, 3. Oops, that one got 4. Okay. I hope I have enough in my hand. I might have to grab more. I think I haven't opened this seed pack. Okay, let's grab one from here. Since I actually started these seeds last year and I completely forgot they're pelleted. So let's see how it goes. I need one more for this one over here. And here we have it. And now again, I'm just gonna go and plant everything else. Just going to speed this up real quick. Okay, and here we have it, all done for today. Both seed trays are planted and they are going to go just like this to my grow light. I'm gonna take this off and I'm going to add that back to my bucket. So the only thing that's gonna be different about this than I usually do when I start seeds, I usually put a dome on top of my seeds to help keep things moist in there. And this seed tray does not come with that yet. I do know that a lot of people mentioned that on the Facebook group of the GreenStalk, and then they responded, say that they're working on it. So I think they might probably make a dome or something for this in the future. So I'll keep you guys updated if they do, but if not, what I'm going to do to help with that is just I'm going to be good at, again, watering. So just gonna go and check and water this maybe a couple times a day, but I think once a day is good. My seedling grow room at the moment is not super hot because our house is not as hot right now too, keeping our heater a little bit low, but we'll see what happens and I'll keep you guys updated. But the simple solution to that was just to have a spray bottle and spray them until the seeds emerge, and after that you can just start using the watering tray underneath too. So let's go put this on my grow light setup and I'll show you guys where they're gonna live from now on. Alright, here they are in the seedling grow room. I decided that I'm going to put them in the second shelf over here. Because the trays are tall enough below here that is still a good distance from the light, I have very strong lights. So even if they look a little far, they should still germinate well. If they don't, if I notice that they're stretching a bit, when they start to germinate, I will switch those guys. I'll take these ones up that have already germinated and are doing well, and then put them below here and then get these guys to put on top. But for now, because I already have those there, I'm gonna see how it goes and I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you so much for watching today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see my whole journey growing these seedlings this year and how they're gonna do in the garden. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you again and I'll see you next time.